Tired of losing your sanity looking for important work? Dropbox Dash finds what you need fast across all your work apps so you can focus on what matters. Dash means less time searching, more time creating. Learn more at dropbox.com/dash.
Hi, I'm Cyndi Lauper. My scalp was covered with psoriasis, which could lead to psoriatic arthritis. But Cosentyx treats both.
Cosentyx secukinumab is prescribed for adults with moderate to severe plaque psoriasis 300 milligram dose and adults with active psoriatic arthritis 150 milligram dose. Don't use if you're allergic to Cosentyx. Before starting, get checked for tuberculosis. An increased risk of infections and lowered ability to fight them may occur, like tuberculosis or other serious bacterial, fungal, or viral infections. Some were fatal. Tell your doctor if you have an infection or symptoms like fevers, sweats, chills, muscle aches, or cough, had a vaccine or plan to, or if inflammatory bowel disease symptoms develop or worsen. Serious allergic reactions and severe eczema-like skin reactions may occur. Learn more at Cosentyx.com or 1-844-COSENTYX.
Cosentyx works for me.
Ask your doctor about Cosentyx.
BTW, FYI. Visit Nexplanon.com RN to learn about Nexplanon. It's an adjustable implant, 68 milligrams radiopaque. Or ask your HCP IRL. Okay, TTYL.
This message is sponsored by Greenlight. With school out, summer is the perfect time to teach our kids real-world money skills they'll use forever. Greenlight is a debit card and the #1 family finance and safety app used by millions of families, helping kids learn how to save, invest, and spend wisely. Parents can send their kids money and track their spending and saving, while kids build money confidence and skills in fun ways. Start your risk-free Greenlight trial today at greenlight.com/Spotify. That's greenlight.com/Spotify.
Brace the rudders! Raise the sails! Raise the sails!
Captain, an unidentified ship is approaching. Over.
Roger. Wait, is that an enterprise sales solution?
Reach sales professionals, not professional sailors. With LinkedIn ads, you can target the right people by industry, job title, and more. We'll even give you a $100 credit on your next campaign. Get started today at linkedin.com/results. Terms and conditions apply.
This episode is brought to you by Polestar. There's only one true way to experience the all-electric luxury SUV Polestar 3, and that's to take a test drive. It can go from 0 to 60 in as little as 4.8 seconds with the dynamic handling of a sports car. But to truly understand how it commands the road, you need to be behind the wheel. Up to 350 miles of range, the 3D surround sound system by Bowers & Wilkins. It's all something you have to experience to believe. So book your test drive for Polestar 3 today at Polestar.com.
If you went on a road trip and you didn't stop for a Big Mac or drop a crispy fry between the car seats or use your McDonald's bag as a placemat, then that wasn't a road trip. It was just a really long drive. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
At participating McDonald's.
Hey business owners, we know you know the importance of maximizing every dollar. With the Delta SkyMiles Reserve Business American Express card, you can make your expenses work just as hard as you. From afternoon coffee runs to stocking office supplies and even team dinners, you can earn miles on all your business expenses. Plus, you can earn 110,000 bonus miles for a limited time through July 16th. The Delta SkyMiles Reserve Business Card. If you travel, you know. Minimum spending requirements and terms apply. Offer ends 7/16/25.
Effective communication, mastering directness without rudeness abstract. This article explores the critical balance between directness and tactfulness in leadership communication across organizational contexts. Drawing on established research from Mintzberg, Ting-Toomey, and others, it demonstrates how effective leaders adapt their communication styles to maintain clarity without sacrificing respect. The paper outlines practical, research-based strategies for empathetic, solution-focused communication, including active listening, behavior-focused feedback, and constructive alternatives rather than mere criticism. Through industry-specific examples in manufacturing, marketing, and non-profit settings, the authors illustrate how these techniques can be tailored to various workplace scenarios. From performance reviews to peer feedback and stakeholder communications. The work concludes that mastering considerate yet direct communication creates environments where feedback flows freely, fostering organizational learning and excellence while preserving important professional relationships. Effective communication is a key component of success in any organizational leadership role.
Hey, it's Ryan Reynolds here from Mint Mobile. Now, I was looking for fun ways to tell you that Mint's offer of unlimited premium wireless for $15 a month is back. So I thought it would be fun if we made $15 bills. But it turns out that's very illegal. So there goes my big idea for the commercial. Give it a try at mintmobile.com/switch.
Upfront payment of $45 for 3-month plan equivalent to $15 per month required. New customer offer for first 3 months only. Speed slow after 35 gigabytes if network's busy. Taxes and fees extra. See mintmobile.com.
This episode is brought to you by LifeLock. Between two-factor authentication, strong passwords, and a VPN, you try to be in control of how your info is protected. But many other places also have it, and they might not be as careful. That's why LifeLock monitors hundreds of millions of data points a second for threats. If your identity is stolen, they'll fix it, guaranteed, or your money back. Save up to 40% your first year. Visit LifeLock.com/podcast for 40% off. Terms apply.
In today's fast-paced workplace environments, it is crucial for leaders to be able to communicate directly yet tactfully with employees, peers, and other stakeholders. However, being direct does not mean one has to be rude. There is an art to providing clear, candid feedback or viewpoints in a manner that is respectful and productive. Today, we will explore research-based best practices for direct yet considerate communication and provide practical tips and examples for leaders aiming to strike this balance. Communication Styles Research Foundation. Before delving into specific techniques, it is important to understand different communication styles and their impact based on relevant research. Several prominent scholars have studied direct and indirect communication approaches. Mintzberg, 1973, categorized managerial roles and noted that effective leaders employ a range of styles depending on the situation, including a directive role when clarity and assertiveness are needed. Ting-Toomey, 1988, introduced the concept of impoliteness across cultures and highlighted the relationship between directness and perceived rudeness or respect. Gomez and Knowles, 1999, further investigated direct and indirect communication preferences and their effects. Through survey research, they found most professionals prefer a moderately direct style that gets the point across concisely without abrasiveness. However, perceptions of directness as rude or respectful depended largely on cultural background and personal traits of the communicator and recipient. Those seen as humble, considerate leaders tend to get away with more direct language. This research establishes that while direct talk has its place, subtler techniques combined with an emphasis on mutual understanding generally leads to better relationships and outcomes. The next section will outline specific strategies leaders can employ. Being direct through empathetic, solution-focused communication. A core principle of considerate direct communication is maintaining an empathetic, solution-focused mindset. Rather than accusing or attacking, leaders should approach discussions from a place of understanding different perspectives and a shared goal of continuous improvement. Some tactics to operationalize this include active listening, when another person is speaking. Focus intently on what they are saying through eye contact, facial expressions, and brief acknowledgements like nodding. Refrain from multitasking or thinking about your response. This shows the speaker you are fully engaged and helps ensure you understand their complete viewpoint before responding. Rogers and Farson, 1957. Paraphrasing. After listening, restate the key points you heard in your own words to confirm comprehension. Ask clarifying questions respectfully if needed. Paraphrasing allows the speaker to correct any misunderstandings before the discussion moves forward. Axelrod, 2017. Addressing behavior, not character. Provide specific, observable examples of what someone said or did rather than making blanket personal criticisms. Focus on how the behavior affects results or relationships, not the person's intent or qualities. This keeps criticism objective and prevents defensiveness. Lencioni, 2002. Proposing alternatives, when offering critical feedback. Also suggest constructive solutions or options to consider. People are more receptive to critical feedback if accompanied by a roadmap for positive change rather than just problems identified. This sends the message you want to help rather than just reprimand. Goldman, 1998. Transparency and ownership. Admit your own mistakes or shortcomings openly when appropriate as a model for others. Explain your perspectives and intentions clearly while also respecting differing viewpoints. Convey that you want an open dialogue rather than a one-sided delivery of criticism. Call, 2018. Employing these communication techniques in day-to-day discussions and more complex situations helps maintain an empathetic, solution-driven focus when being direct. The next section provides examples of their application in various organizational contexts. Application in specific industries and situations. There are universal principles for considerate direct discussion. Yet application varies depending on organizational norms, leadership styles within a particular industry or company, and the type of situation or message being conveyed. The following scenarios illustrate techniques leaders can tailor, providing performance feedback to employees during a manufacturing plant manager's one-on-one with an assembly line worker. Jane. I wanted to talk about the quality control numbers from last month. After reviewing the reports, it seems we had more defects from your station than others. Let me recap what I saw. On the 12th you had 7 faulty units and the 19th there were 5. I'm concerned about how this might impact our broader goals. What are your thoughts on what could be contributing to this? I'm open to any insights you have as well. After listening to Jane's perspective, the manager proposes, one idea could be rearranging your workflow to allow more time for each step. Would a trial of that for the next couple weeks be okay to test? I'm happy to help in any way I can. The most important thing is continuous improvement. Please also feel free to come to me right away if any issues arise going forward. Giving peer-to-peer feedback during a staff meeting at a marketing firm. Zach. I wanted to bring up the Johnson proposal briefly. A few things really stood out to me that could make it even stronger. First, I appreciated how thorough the market research section was. It's clearly a strength of yours. However, when I got to the recommendations, I felt there could be more specifics around implementation. Perhaps we could reconnect after to brainstorm some additional tactics we might include. This is just friendly feedback to possibly take it to the next level. The recipient is given space to respond and asks follow-up questions. Keeping the dialogue constructive. Delivering critical news to stakeholders during a board meeting for a non-profit. As you all know, our funding situation has been tight these past few quarters. I'm afraid I have some disappointing numbers to share regarding our most recent grant application. However, before going into details, I want to acknowledge the diligent work of the grants team led by Melissa. They poured countless hours into a thoughtful proposal. Although the outcome wasn't what we hoped, I believe refining our message based on the feedback we received could help with future efforts. Melissa, would you mind sharing your perspective on lessons learned and where you see potential areas of improvement going forward? The leader solicits input and partners with the team to problem solve with an emphasis on moving ahead positively. These examples show adapting direct yet sensitive communication to achieve understanding and solutions across diverse contexts and relationships within organizations. The conclusion summarizes key takeaways. Conclusion: thoughtful, considerate discussion is an essential leadership capability, especially when directness is required to achieve transparency, address problems, or convey tough messages. Research demonstrates most professionals prefer a moderately direct communication style from their leaders that gets the point across clearly without aggressiveness or disrespect. There are techniques leaders can employ focused on empathy, listening, respect, objectivity, and shared progress over personal criticism alone. Effective direct communicators understand different viewpoints, acknowledge shortcomings, and apply a solution-oriented lens across industries and situations. with practice operationalizing principles like active listening. Paraphrasing, addressing behaviors constructively and transparently owning perspectives. Leaders can have difficult yet valuable discussions that engage and motivate others. Striking the right balance takes skill, but cultivates environments where people feel comfortable giving and receiving feedback, a key driver of organizational learning and excellence.